Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, everybody. So I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my opinions on the Chicago L system, aka the Chicago subway. But I got in a comment. I posted a video on my TikTok page, and somebody was like, in Chicago we call it the L system. So I was like, all right. All right. But yeah, so I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my opinions about the Chicago L system. That's what they call it out there. But in New York, we call it the subway, but which is the Chicago subway. But not all the trains go underground. And I think I'm going to compare it to the New York City subway. I don't have the full, I'm just sharing my experience. But if you've been to Chicago before, or if you live out in Chicago, I would like to know your feedback as well. So I'm not going to have the perfect feedback for it. I'm not trying to say that it's better than the New York City subway. I'm just gonna compare it. I feel like it's slightly better because the trains are more clean, the platforms are more clean versus look at the NYC subway, especially if we go up down as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna roll out some clips. I'm gonna add some different clips and everything, and I will do a little voiceover on, and I will give you guys my thoughts and my opinions on the Chicago subway. So here we go. Okay, so in my experience while riding the CTA, the Chicago L line, so in Chicago they call this the L system, and not the subway. But in New York, we call our trains the subway because they basically go underground. But in Chicago, out here, they call it the L system. So this is the clip of the blue line that I was riding when I was coming back to New York. And I'm going to say, in my experience, overall, my experience of riding the Chicago subway, I would say it's fast. I mean, in my experience, it's reliable. I mean, there was times where I had longer wait times. I even rode this train line on a holiday weekend, a holiday freaking weekend, a long weekend. And I did not see not one track work, not one group of people working on the tracks, no trains being rerouted or anything like that. There wasn't really a lot of garbage on the platforms, I would have to say. And you compare that to the New York City subway. You really compare that to the New York City subway. New York City subway, there's track work late at night, sometimes in the middle of the day, sometimes on the weekends. But it's always good to look at other subway systems in the world, other trains in other parts of the world. And honestly, in my perspective, just being able to ride the subway, and I wanted to do this video because I wanted to compare this to the New York City subway and my experience. Not only that too, like, I mean, pretty much the one thing they both have in common is that you get those nice views of the city. Like, this is the north side right here. So this is the north side that I am riding when I went to go and do my live stream in the north side of Chicago, uptown Chicago, and seeing these gorgeous views of Chicago. Pretty impressive. There's the stadium right there. Wait, yeah, it looks like a stadium, but I don't know what stadium that is. But I really like it. I mean, the trains are more smaller than the New York City subway. That's one thing I definitely have to say on that. It is definitely smaller, and there's like less doors. I mean, imagine being on this crowded train, and you have to really jam in. You have to squeeze in. There's like no room. But one thing about the New York City subway, at least the subway cars are much bigger, and there's more room. You can fit more people versus the CTA train. So that's one thing I didn't like about it, is that it's so small. You can fit less people there as well. But I enjoy seeing the elevated stations, the elevated views of Chicago. This is my first time this is like the most sightseeing I've ever done since I've been in Chicago. Last time when I was there, I didn't do that much sightseeing. All I did was stay in the downtown side. But when I went outside of the downtown district, like going uptown, going to Chinatown, I got to see a lot more of Chicago, just viewing it. And I'm going to say just taking this train, it's super fast and it's super reliable. Um, the only time I saw construction was on that Tuesday that I went, and it was all the way up in the north side. I barely saw any construction, and the only track work that was going on was in the north side. But the whole entire week, I'm not just saying because I was just in the downtown district, but I took the train to Chinatown, which is a little bit outside the downtown area. And I didn't see not one track work at all. None of that. So nothing being rerouted, no congestion, no confusion. But I know a lot of people ride the CTA, in my opinion. But if you compare that to, again, to the New York City subway system, you see that all the time on the CTA. You don't see it as much as New York City. I'm not saying they don't do track work or anything like that on here, but I'm just talking through my perspective, my experience. So that's the one thing I really liked about this train. And let's get to the tap and pay. Let's get to that part. So I've been having issues with the tap pay on the New York City subway, and it drives me crazy. So I gotta pull out my Omni card and refill it. So sometimes I just want to go. I don't want to fill. I don't feel like filling up any damn cards. So I've been having I've been having issues tapping the Omni system in the New York City subway. When I went out here to Chicago, I just tapped and paid. My Apple Pay worked on the CTA versus MTA. And the thing is that I feel like MTA has a lot of lack. It's not like they can't fix anything. They just choose not to. But CTA, I didn't have any problems with their tap and pay system. So I was pretty much good to go. Now, let's talk about the pricing. Yes, the pricing. Let's get to the pricing. The only thing I did not like about CTA was the freaking pricing. I didn't like it at all. They charge you like, I think it's $5 each trip. I believe you can get like a day pass or a weekly pass. I don't know too much about the weekly pass or monthly pass. So I'm not even gonna go there because I was only there for 5 days. But to be honest, the New York City subway is cheaper than the Chicago subway to ride each way, in my opinion, because Chicago, they charge you a good $5 just to ride each way. And the New York City subway, we pay almost $3 each way. So our subway system is cheaper than Chicago's subway system, in my opinion. So just riding this, just exploring this, but I do like their subway system. I do like their train system. I keep saying subway system. I'm from New York, so forgive me, folks. But just riding their subway system, the L system, sorry, Chicagoans, anybody that lives in Chicago, forgive me. But I'm from New York. I'm so used to saying subway. But just being able to ride this, get the nice views. You get a nice, good view right here off of the highway. Just seeing the nice highway views. This is off of the Blue Line going to the airport, which is pretty cool. And I'll have a video. And I do have a video on this on my first Chicago video, premiere video ever. And it's pretty great so far. I do have a clip of me riding the Chicago subway in my very first premiere of Chicago. But just riding this subway system, I would say it feels pretty smooth, feels pretty nice. It's super fast. And I don't think I've seen, and then another thing I want to compare this to with the New York City subway is that there's also not a lot of garbage around, not a lot of trash around. And another thing too is that I didn't see much homelessness. I didn't see a lot of homelessness on the subway. And if you go to the New York City subway, you will see that. You will definitely get that. definitely for sure. And also, there's really not a lot of, I didn't really see a lot of service changes. Now, I really want to move back over to the weekend on that. So, the holiday weekend, I have to compare this to the New York City subway on a weekend, especially a holiday weekend. I barely saw any service changes during the holiday weekend. I was able to get around. I was able to go here, go there. And I'm not just talking on a weekday, but comparing that to the New York City subway, you get a lot of service changes, so much track work. Like when I was coming back from the airport, um, I think was it, I took a bus and I took the train. I took the 7 to the 2. I was hoping I can be able to get home, but there was no trains going past 96th Street, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, why isn't the train going uptown? And it was terminating at 96th Street. To find out there's no 2 trains between 3rd Avenue and 96th Street. And I'm like, I'm not going through this BS. I can't. It's too much. This was on a weeknight. A weeknight. And there was a flyer saying that, and they started the track work early as 9:30 at night. Like, I can't. Like, MTA sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy riding the trains in New York City, but MTA is so damn mismanaged, man. They really are mismanaged when it comes down to their trains. I feel like it's track work all the freaking time. But riding this subway, I didn't feel that way. I really did not feel that way riding the CTA. Now, do I think the CTA is the best? In my opinion, is it the best subway system in the world? Do I really think that? No, I don't think that, because I don't really know the CTA. This is my very first time actually riding the CTA. This is my first time riding the Chicago train. So I was just getting to know the train and getting to know the trains, how they work and everything. So yeah, I barely experienced that. So and like I said, I've took this on, what was it, I took this on a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The whole 3 days, the whole Memorial Day weekend. Not once I've experienced any track work or service changes. On Tuesday I did experience some track work and all that stuff, but yeah, the trains was going a little bit slow on the north side, going to the north side and then coming from the north side. It was a bit slow, but once we got past all the track maintenance people, then that's when the train started to pick up and everything started to pick up, and we got downtown with no problem. And once we got past all that, train started working just fine again. We went downtown and everything. I'm not sure what they was doing there, but yeah, that's my thoughts and my opinions. So, just riding the CTA versus the New York City subway, I really have to compare that. But let me know what your thoughts and comments below. I would like to give your opinions. Have you rode this Chicago subway system before? Have not? What do you think about it versus the New York City subway? So let me know what your feedback is in the comments. But this is just my opinion riding the Chicago subway, and I'm comparing it to my subway system back at home. But I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not trying to. Anyways, folks, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys really liked it, let me know what your thoughts and opinions on the Chicago subway. If you rode it, if you've been on there, if you haven't, if you've been to Chicago and you rode the train, let me know what your thoughts and opinions on there as well. But I wanted to do this video because I figured this would be a pretty interesting content as well, because just looking at MTA and looking at CTA, just seeing how MTA manages and runs their subways. I mean, let's all be honest, it's really not the best. It's really not good how they manage their subway. And looking at CTA's perspective, how they run their subway, how they manage the subway. I mean, sometimes Sometimes the wait times could be a little longer on the Chicago subway, all depending on where you're coming from, depending on where you're going at. As far as like price wise, in my opinion though, I think the New York City subway is cheaper than the CTA price, because to ride the CTA train is $5 each way, and I don't agree with that. I don't like the prices too much. I don't like that either. But on both systems, you can use your phone. I used my Apple Pay. I was good to go. I had no issues with my Apple Pay. But here on New York City subway, I was using it for a little while, but then the Apple Pay is starting to give me problems. So I can't even use it on the damn Omni. Every time I tap, I can't even tap with my phone. But if I go to another example, if I go and take the PATH train, I use my phone just to tap. I'm good to go. MTA now, that's an issue. But yeah. But anyways, hope everybody has a good one. Hope y'all enjoy this video. Have a good one, folks. And I will see you guys in another video. I'll have one more video of Chicago coming, everybody, before I go back to posting New York content. I've been taking a break from making New York City videos, and I just want to do some different content. I don't want to do the same old content over and over and over and over, and I feel like it gets kind of boring. So I'll have more content as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for joining. I do plan to go to Toronto in September, so I will have a lot of content, a lot of videos for you guys. So I will be posting Toronto for a while when I get out there in September, from September going into October. Anyways, folks, you guys take care. Have a good one, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good one.